have died and gone? Where are they today? What about all the wealth they've accumulated from themselves without showing people love by sharing what they have? Friends may come and go, but the love of family, genuine friends, caring neighbors, and compassionate strangers can keep a person alive emotionally and mentally. I want you to know that history is filled with stories of people who survive impossible situations because someone believed in them. But first of all, you need to believe in yourself before anyone believes in you. A word of encouragement, a helping hand, or simply someone saying, I am here for you. I am always here for you. You need to know that there is always someone who is there for you. And of course, knowing that there is always someone who cares for you. I don't like it when people say, nobody likes me. Nobody likes me. No! There are people who loves you. There are people who like you. It is not people who flaunt around you to say I love you, to say I like you hypocritically, that really love you. There are people who loves you from a distance, people who are praying for you, people who want you to succeed in life, people who want you to live destiny, people who want you to matter in your business, they want you to grow in your workplace, they want your career to expand and you achieve success. So anytime in the day, you need to know that there are people who believes in you. Sometimes love is not about solving every problem that you have. Sometimes it is simply about standing beside someone until the storm passes. Storms don't last always. Storms will come. It could even come from people you least expect. But then you need to know that storms don't last always. There are people who are wishing you good. The people who wish you good are more than the people who wish you bad. In case you don't know, I want you to know these. And of course, we're talking about love today. And love, I want to tell you, that is also a teacher that teaches us resilience. And of course, when we love, we find reasons to fight for tomorrow. Parents endure hardship because of the love they have for their children. Husbands and wives sacrifice, neighbors sacrifice, colleagues in the office sacrifice so many things to make sure there is success all around. There is success with everybody in the establishment, in the neighborhood, in the house, because that is what love is all about. But if you don't give love, don't expect love in return. If you are that person that always hates people, you always talk about people, you talk people down, people don't mean anything to you, you look at people and you just see them as if they don't mean anything because you are wealthy, or probably because you feel you are above them. I want you to know that love is going to be far away from you because you are not a giver of love. You don't show love, so don't expect to get love in return. And that's the truth about life, okay? But then our friends support each other through difficult seasons. Why? Because love refuses to abandon people in their weakest moments. When anyone is weak, help the person to be strong. When anyone is poor, help the person to be rich. That is what life is all about, because one day you would also have time when you will need people in your life to show you love. But love is not only about receiving. In case a lot of people don't know, love is not all about receiving. It is also about giving. There is a saying that blessed is the hand that giveth and the hand that taketh. Let me give you an instance. If you are receiving from someone, your hand is always under, the person's hand is always at the top. And what does it mean? It means that person will always be above you. So whether little, whether small, whether it's even a kindness, try to show someone love. Try to give someone something. All right, let your hand be at the top once in a time. Even if it is not all the time, at least once upon a time, let your hand be at the top, meaning you're the one giving and the person receiving's hand is under. Let not your hand always be under. Don't always think of what you will get, always think of what you will give in form of love. As a matter of fact, let me just round up that the subject of love is not something that we can talk about in a very short time. So many in my mind to talk about, but then you may not have millions of naira to change someone's life, all right, but yet a smile, a phone call, a visit, a kind word, a sincere prayer. In your closet, there are people praying for you all the time that you don't even know. They're interceding for you. They want you to be good. That organization where you are working, there is somebody praying that organization will go up all the time. In your family, the situation between you and your husband, some people don't even know, but they are seeing it from a far distance and they are praying for you to be successful in that marriage, for God to mend that marriage and make it a very, very flourishing. Sometimes sharing a meal can become the miracle someone desperately needs. Never underestimate the power of kindness, the power of love. What seems small to you may be the reason another person decides not to give up. So there is another important truth about love. We must also learn to love ourselves. Like I said, self-love is not selfishness. It means believing that your life has value even when circumstances suggest otherwise. It means you're loving yourself. You know, I am with value. I am a good project going somewhere to happen. That business, I am going to grow in that business. I'm going to own estate in FCT, in Port Harcourt, in Lagos, wherever you want. So just have that self-love. Believe in yourself, first of all, before anyone believes in you. It means refusing to define yourself by your failure. Every setback is temporary. Every dark night eventually gives away to the morning. Well, thank you everyone for being part of Heart to Heart today. I believe someone has been inspired, even if it is small. At least love yourself, show love, and know that there is something that will always strengthen you in times of weakness, disappointment, struggling, and difficulty. Thank you for being part of Heart to Heart today. Have a beautiful day. I see you being successful. I see you being a great man, a great woman. All right, see you at the other side of success. Bye bye for now.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Usoro.
On Global Television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust our multi-platform news broadcast, real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Abo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social media platforms at Global TV NG.
All right, it's good to have you back. Thank you so much, Ramsey, for that very important segment. Right now, we go straight to the newspaper review segment, and we're starting with the Nigerian Tribune. First story above the nameplate: PFIPC reps panel finally meet at DME in police custody. That detail is right there on page 3. Next story, just by its side: campaign funds. INEC to deploy technology-driven innovation to monitor parties. What the Electoral Act says about campaign expertise, right? It's not quite clear here. As presidential NAS campaign begins August 19. It's about to go down, or it's about to go up, I don't know. But details on page 22. Oyo APC Guba race. Olaniyan, Asanike, Alao, Bakari reconcile with Ali. Details on page 3. The Star story is what we have next. It reads: Nigeria out of the woods. Economy shows strong growth recovery. NRS boss says this. Two riders to that. 10 blue chip companies post 14.4 trillion naira revenue, 27.1 trillion naira tax collected in 7 months. All details on page 7. Kogi Police Army come forests. Destroy kidnappers' hideout along Okene Auchi Road. Details on page 31. Nigeria recurring floods. Up to $9.12 billion lost. 800 billion naira needed for repairs. Details on page 6, and that report is from the FDC. Now we go to health. Worsening financial condition accelerates memory loss in older adults. Wow. Okay, so if you are aging, try your best. Try your best to make money before you go old, in other words. Oshun Oyilola, other APC leaders endorse APC's Oyebanji. I will not disappoint you, says APC global candidate. Well, politicians are always politicians, and their work is to politic, and politicking involves assuring and reassuring. So the game is quite tough, but let the best man win. Those are your headlines for the Nigerian Tribune. Next point of call is the New Telegraph and
Standard Times.
Okay, let's go to Standard Times.
All right, let's see how the Standard Times is this morning. On the Standard Times newspaper this morning, we have some headlines above the nameplate. We have this one which says Tanzania expanded Dangote investments in fertilizer, energy, infrastructure. Sometimes you'll be forced to ask questions. How many of we do we have in Nigeria where Dangote is from? But then, I think to say the least, Dangote is doing fantastic. Now to the star story on the Standard Times newspaper this morning. Oshun Guba, that's the kicker. Oyinlola Akimbade dump Adeleke backs APC Oyebamiji. All right, that's interesting. Now, let's look at other headlines for you this morning. Now, let's get to the next story, which is on page 82. It says, Customs seizes parts of pump-action rifles, 373.8 million naira worth of cannabis products at Tinkan Port. Well, I don't know why this is happening, but then just today we still saw how someone was arrested, all in the name of drugs. This one is even cannabis. Well, thank you very much. Good luck for bringing us this. Now, let's move to the next one, which says that Trump's rescue 33 adopted passengers in Zamfara. Troops rescue 33 abducted passengers in Zamfara as to begin indefinite strike at Bayelsa Poly over retired rector's reappointment. All right, details you can find on page 82.
It has to be ASUP.
ASUP, yes. ASUP. Did I? Okay, ASUP, yeah. That is the Association of Polytechnic,
That's
all right?
the Union of Polytechnic.
Yes, Association of
Polytechnic.
ASUP. You put... Accord Party rejects Tinubu's endorsement claim. That's on page 82. Then this one says 147 structures to be affected by coastal highway service lane construction. NTLEA arrests Italy-based businessman for ingesting 98 wraps of cocaine. We just talked about cannabis. Now it is cocaine. I don't know why people are indulging in this here and there. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Finally, from the Standard Times, Wike Fubara crisis was PDP affair, not a just struggle. All right, this one is coming from Eradiri, as he is insisting. These are the headlines for you on the Standard Times newspaper. We'll move to the next point of call, which is the New Telegraph.
All right, thank you, Ramsey. The New Telegraph has its first story above the nameplates. Top, just right on the top of the nameplates there, it says CBN. MFB's deposits surged 74% to 3.85 trillion naira amidst tech deployment. Nigeria out of the woods shows strong economic recovery growth. And that's coming from the NRS chair. Details on page 2. The Star story: why police, NSCDC, others also deserve salary increase by experts. Well, we heard that the army, the military salary, the president has increased their salary, and this person is also, this expert is trying to fight for NSCDC and the police too.
Oh,
and I am totally in support.
Because some of them are also in front of the
everybody's
security.
Exactly, everybody's at the forefront of the insecurity. Rule lack, no justification for improved welfare for one out of many security institutions. Exclusion can create distortion within country's security architecture. That's coming from Rewind. Because, it's a collaborative effort. So we need to be very careful, else we begin to cause rivalry. Right, and when there's division, we don't get the
best
of
not
it.
at all.
So, what is good for the goose, or what is sauce for the goose, is sauce for the gander, as they say. Party politics: Oyilola, others, PDP leaders endorse APC's Oyebanji in Osun. Okay, details on page 2. You cannot judge politics from the newspaper, anyways. Tension in Benue as Assembly Majority Leader Doms Alia joins PDP. Middle East crisis. Netanyahu rejects Trump's 15-point plan for Gaza. Details on page 4. Why misconduct persists on bench by lawyers. Details on page 14 and 16. 2027, crowded race for Nigeria's presidency. Former presidential contenders, ex-party chairman, others gear up for battle against Tinubu. INEC extends deadline for submission of governor, state assembly, and candidate list. Serap tells Tinubu Atiku will be orders to declare assets, reject vote buying. This is on page 2, 4, 9, 10, and 11, respectively. Well, of course, it's going to be a lengthy read with so many details for you to check out. Misinformation: late defection affecting cancer treatment in Nigeria. Late detection, I beg your pardon, affecting cancer treatment in Nigeria. That's coming from an oncologist. Details on page 30. So, of course, they say prevention is better than cure, but when you get sick, you need to also detect. Detection is, key. Early detection in this case is key. Tinubu rallies religious leaders against terrorism, banditry, misuse of faith. But they judged Onayekan, you are Desmond Tutu of Nigeria, ignore Wiki, Kwara, Fubara. Over 25 kidnapped victims die in captivity. That's from Kwara. 3 from snake bite, rescued victim. Well, that it's quite unclear from my end. But read the page 248 and page 28 for all of those details. Those are your headlines for the New Telegraph. Next point of call is the Daily Trust.
All right, let's look at the Daily Trust newspaper for you this morning. On the Daily Trust, we have this one which says, ADC, lawyers fault ICPC report on Phantom Council. Borno abduction, 87 days without our children, tortures. This is coming from parents. Rift in Adamawa ADC over replacement of governorship candidate. Then the star story on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning says 187,200 naira to 3.25 million naira. Military's new pay scale. I love that. All right, even though there is an agitation from other security outfits. 4 family members killed in Kano building collapse. That's unfortunate there. And then this one says a woman arrested for allegedly strangling 3-year-old stepdaughter. Details read on page 45. Pressure on national grid as vandals destroyed 20 towers. 15 dies in Niger road crash. That's unfortunate. And those are the headlines for you right there on, of course, the Daily Trust. Let's look at the Blueprint newspaper right now quickly for you.
All right, thank you so much, Ramsey. The Blueprint has its first story below the nameplate and coincidentally the star story. It reads, with 10 blue chip companies posting 14.4 trillion naira revenue, Nigeria showing strong recovery coming from the NRS. Right there says 27.1 trillion naira tax collected in 7 months. Oshun Guba, Oyinlola, PDP leaders back Oyebaji. Avoid tension, bloodshed. Oyintiloye cautions stakeholders. 2027, APC has completed upload of candidates into INEC portal. And what that the chairman is saying, bringing us that. It's a demonstration of capacity and readiness for governance. Well, I totally agree. The APC appears to be readier, if there's any word like that. More ready than every other party. Tinubu to headline Jibwis, Muslim World League Conference on Security Tuesday. Details on page 12. Troop rescued 33 kidnapped passengers in Zamfara. Page 21 has that detail. Energy market on edge as Iran says Hormuz stay closed. Details on page 22. Finally, Italy-based businessman arrested at Enugu airport after excreting 98 cocaine wraps. These guys are just fantastic. Details on page 7 because I don't know how they ingest this thing. Wow. Wow. Well, those are your headlines for the Blueprint newspaper. Can we take any more?
Our time is up. We can't take any more. But then let's inform you that Global Television does not have editorial contribution to any of the headlines brought to you from these newspaper houses right now. And of course, you can pick any of the copies and go through them for yourself. Up now is Social Boss with Ogochukwu Mobuno. Stay with us.
snow? Tired of the bad TV signals? Nigeria has gone digital. Introducing Free TV, the national platform for every Nigerian. Get 100 plus channels immediately. Sports, news, and entertainment in your native language. All with clear picture quality. Whether you're in the city or the village, our satellite signal reaches every corner of 36 states from day one. No monthly subscription, just a compatible decoder and you are set. It's a national asset built for you. Take the show on the road, download the Free TV app and stream your favorite channels anywhere. Starting this May, scan to download the app or call 0700 388 7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by NBC.
Imagine having the power of television, movies, news, and entertainment right in your pocket. Welcome to Free TV App, Nigeria's all-in-one digital TV experience. With Free TV App, you get access to over 100 live TV channels, breaking news, sports, movies, kids shows, and more. All from a single mobile app. No decoder stress, no complicated setup, just download, open, and start watching. Free TV is television reimagined for the digital age. To get started, simply search Free TV on the Google Play Store or Free TV NG on the Apple App Store, or scan the QR code on your screen. Once installed, register in seconds using your phone number, email, WhatsApp, Google ID, or Apple ID. Secure OTP verification ensures safe and seamless access. Inside the app, explore content directly from the home screen or navigate easily using the various tabs. The Live TV section gives you access to over 100 licensed channels, complete with an electronic program guide, EPG, pause, rewind, and catch-up features. The Video On Demand library offers up to 500 hours of curated content, including Nollywood movies, drama series, documentaries, kids and educational programs. You can resume playback, save favorites, and download content to watch offline. The News tab delivers real-time updates across breaking news, sports, entertainment, technology, and pop culture, all in one place. Free TV is more than an app. It's a digital revolution in broadcasting. Download the Free TV app today.
Tired of the snow? Tired of the bad TV signals? Nigeria has
When social media speaks, we listen and we bring you the extra. It's your one-stop shop for trends, tweets, and the tea everyone's sipping on. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get that extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And the issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global TV.
Good morning, Nigerians and viewers around the world. It's time to look at what's in the issues making the rounds on social media. Today we're looking at an unpopular opinion from former BBN Niger star. This one is from Kidwaya. He has sparked debate over British colonial rule in Nigeria. Reality TV star Kidwaya has sparked debate online after sharing an unpopular opinion about what Nigerians' colonial history is. Kidwaya suggested that the British should have remained in Nigeria for another 10 to 15 years. Arguing that the country might have experienced better development as a result. His comment has generated mixed reactions, with some Nigerians agreeing with his view, while others strongly disagree and pointing to the negative consequences of colonial rule. The question is, would Nigeria have developed faster if British colonial rule had lasted longer? A very big question. I have my reservations, but let's take some comments from social media, of course. And the first comment we're taking here is coming from Rayat Ward. And Rayat Ward says, yes, I completely agree with up till now, we don't still have the mental prowess to make development state of the art on our own. Individually, we have the mindset, but collectively, we don't. Let's just tell ourselves the truth. Thank you so much, Rayat. And second comment is coming from Papi Dani, and Papi said, yes, I say this. We were granted independence way too early. They should have waited till 1990. All right, thank you. And the third one is coming from Sherry Coco. And Sherry Coco says, to be honest, I think Nigeria would have been a better place if we were still under them. Man, this country has the potential of becoming one of the best countries in the world, if not for the bad leaders. All right, the last but not the least is coming from Hype Monster Gang. And Hype Monster said, so can we possibly draw the conclusion that we weren't knowledgeable enough to build a life worth living for ourselves? As at the time the British left, or we are just a people that has refused to do what's necessary for development. All right, thank you everyone who dropped their comments today concerning today's topic. Of course, we acknowledge every comment here, and yes, these are the opinion of these people, and it's valid to us. But yes, we have our own observation, and we're going to discuss it this morning. I have no other person. There's no other person I can do this better with, if not for Priscilla Obasi. Good morning, Priscilla.
I don't. The hype is plenty. Good morning, Ogochukwu.
I'm not an educationist.
Of course I am.
Okay, so I think let's go back. Now,
it's a good thing that you're a historian. So I'm doing this with a historian.
Yes, let's go back to to the drawing board right now. Kidwaya has sparked this conversation, and guess what? I've always thought about these things in my head. I said, okay, I understand. Yes, if you look back in history, they'll tell you colonialism started in 1900 when we had Portuguese dominating some part of the country, and then later the British also came in, and that's how it's across Africa. African countries, except for Ethiopia, which they were not able to find their way into it. But then again, now we're talking about Nigeria. Somehow, I feel like it was too early. It was too early, I feel like the leader just discovered that, it's more like colonialism opened our eyes, and we discovered that we had so much in this soil. We had so many mineral resources, we had this, we had that. Because if you remember, if we go back now again, if you remember early when we had the NCNC, which was the first political parties, we had the SPP, SDP, UNPP, and all of that, those first political parties, there was a lot of fights. A lot, like they fought so hard, and you'll be asking yourself, these are people that really want to be independent. There was so much struggle. It was too much. Then we had a military rule. Then we had so much. We started with the military coup in 1966, and so on and so forth. So it was more like it was greed that inspired colonialism, and not self-worth. Like you have not known yourself yet. You have not known how to, gather these people and govern these people. You don't know how to manage your resources. You only discovered, someone only opened your eyes to something that you have, and you know that, oh, I have this thing now, so let me chase this person out and let me know how to work with my stuff. You understand? I don't know how to explain this. Maybe I have to calm down now. That's the reason why you're here, because of course
you have to calm down from your heel.
Yeah, let me calm down. When you have a property, but you don't know what, for instance, gold, and you have it in its raw form. You don't know that this gold can make different, beautiful ornaments. You can make jewelries and, wristwatches and all of these things from it. And someone comes to tell you, you can make all of these things, and the person even do practical for you, and you see it. The next thing, you chase the person out and say, you know what, I don't need you anymore. I have discovered whatever it is you have discovered. Let me do it myself. And you start doing your own, and you start doing iron condemn style. That is the way I see it. But please correct me if I'm wrong. But somehow I still resonate with this topic. Honestly, very important.
There have always been bad people in the government. There has always been good people. There have always been terrible people. There will continue to be the bad, the good, and the ugly. So it was a combination of all of the people we had then. Don't forget that we had the slave trade era, where our people were given out and sold and all of that.
Humans.
And it also came with its own consequences. It also came with its own, backlash and all of that. So, if some set of people then said, "Oh, these people had ripped us," they have their valid reasons to think that way because of the practical slave trade. If you go to a place like Badagry now, you see some of those elements there, and you will almost want to weep.
Those slave trades, the leaders were selling their people.
Yes, but if you had people then that said, okay, maybe among, like I said, they were bad, the good, and the ugly.
Okay.
So if you had the good amongst them that said, this thing is not good, and I want to stand against it. Do you understand? They were valid.
It would have been very difficult for us to see the good. You know why?
Why?
They opened your eyes. They came with gunpowder. They came with mirror. They came with so many things that you've never seen. You'd be like,
but let's not forget that
exist.
Let's not forget that families are interconnected. The fact that they came with some benefit doesn't mean that one way or the other you have not felt the effects of the bad too that happened in that era. Whether it happened to you or it happened to your distant relative or happened to your village people or happened somehow. Like I said, I want to start still going back to the point that we had the bad, the good, and the ugly, right? So if there were bad people in that era, let's also not forget that this power was systematically and strategically handed over.
Okay.
Right? So we still had the politicians too that, systematically collected.
They just wanted power.
The power and somehow maybe distributed it amongst themselves. It was strategic, right? So even if the British people had stayed with us till 2025, they will still eventually, they will eventually go. And if we had politicians that still greedy till date, they would want to use it for their benefits.
But then,
the difference would
okay.
The difference then would have been that maybe some people amongst us would be able to, be exposed more, because there's still the school of thought that said education that they brought it somehow to still make us slaves, because you're bringing education to make people feel like you are working for someone, right? Not to really liberate them. So even up till date, we have people that go to school just to work for people. There's nobody. The majority of Nigerians graduates go to school with the mindset of, when I finish, I will work. There's nothing that tells you that, okay, I can be an employer or a creator of job. I can be just an employer of labor. Just in recent times, people are now trying to build skill.
But if everyone becomes an employer of labor, who's going to buy it?
No, everybody cannot be. But even if everybody becomes an employer of labor, you will still give service. It's just the same way we had the trade by barter then. Everybody you have to give something to someone to collect something from them. It is still a community that would have to coexist. Do you understand? You cannot have it all. You will need something from another person. So that school of thought still said, these people that brought education to us brought it for us to be systematically aligned to their own system, so that when we finish getting the knowledge, we are being trained and drilled to still go and pour our energy, more like an advanced slave trade. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from.
An advanced slave trade for your own country, because the thing is, if you, like you said there's a school of thought that said, that's there's a way they molded the minds of people. Go to school and work for someone, okay? But if you're working and you're working in your country, you're working in your country,
then they had
it's not going to be a bad thing.
Then they had the companies. Not forget that they had all the structure. They had set it up. Most of the textile companies that we operated, we had the raw materials. Even up to date, we have Chinese people that are working that own businesses in Nigeria, and people would gladly feel privileged to go and work for those Chinese companies. We have them still. So it's our country, but the reward somehow goes back to them.
But then again, the reason why I said, I think we are deviating a bit. The question here is, if they had stayed a longer time, would we have had better development in Nigeria? Yes or no? That's another thing.
I don't think.
Now, I think so, because I remember vividly, in 2009, I think I moved down to Delta State in 2009.
Okay.
And I remember that we used to have, in fact, there was a textile mill, very big textile mill that was present in Asaba. Then we have UAC company, very big one. I can't remember the name of the environment, but the name of the place right now, but is in Asaba, very big company now, they'll tell you. Then we have, of course, there's a place where we have the Landa Brothers, and all of that, those developments. So I think that if they had stayed longer, they would have been able to help us manage this thing, because in as much as, yes, like you said, I know all of that. They had this sugarcane factory, they had all of this textile mill and all of that, and that was one of the reasons why they started this illegitimate trade, which was the slave trade, moving people over there to develop their country. When they started bringing it down here, were we able to even manage it?
Well, it's the programming. That's the problem.
What is the
longer
programming
they stay,
about?
the program does.
We did not even wait to learn.
Our learning.
They tell you that your learning is 4 years. You promote the person in 2 years.
A boy that doesn't learn tailoring or a girl.
You don't even understand the machine properly. But because of you know that, oh, this thing is generating money, I think it's something that has to do with black man. Right now, I think one of the reasons, sorry to cut you short, but one of the reasons I feel that we still have this xenophobic attack right now in South Africa, still continue, like it happens all the time. Now ask yourself, why are they chasing these people away? These are black men like you. But because of you see that they're coming there, they're opening companies, they're working, they're making money, you're telling yourself, this thing they're doing, I can do it though. Let me chase these people and let me do it. Now you have chased them and the companies that are all closed, you can't even handle it.
But you know that it can also give you a room to want to even learn. Because there's something about...
Do we really want to learn, or we are just all about the outcome?
That's what I'm saying. Depends on what you want to make out of the situation. Because they say what doesn't kill you actually makes you stronger. So
it might not make you stronger.
No, it depends on what you make out of
it. It might just paralyze you.
Sometimes you can challenge yourself to, because when... Now imagine that a widow that has depended maybe on her husband all through his lifetime, you know, for everything, for provision, and then the husband eventually leaves. Do you understand? If that widow is willing to put in the work, or if she allows the situation to really, you know, become terrible for her, weigh her down, she might actually eventually pass on. That's what happens. But there are widows that stay strong, that decide to want to. Because of that situation, they begin to see that, oh, I could have actually done this. I had the ability to do this. I didn't even know. It now depends on will. Because when there's a will, there is a way. So when you're not willing, it overwhelms you. When you're willing, you see that, you know, what do I call it now? That vacuum. You're able to fill it up. So I think the problem is our mindset, and then a combination of bad leaders. Maybe the people that they handed that thing over to were not people that really wanted the best.
They might not really be bad leaders, but I feel like they still haven't learned how to govern the states. I not really, because
I agree with you.
I don't think someone would just become bad. They might really have, yes, greed in them. Of course, the colonial masters, that was one of the reasons why they came, to get whatever it is they want to get and maybe give you the peanuts they want to give you.
The question is, did they really want to teach us to be independent? Did they really want to teach us?
How else would they have done it?
There's a system that could have been set up to make you lifelong dependent on them. Maybe, like I said, the programming, the mindset, how they bring you into this thing. There are different kinds of bosses. There are bosses that do not mind if eventually you are better than them, right? There are bosses that would intentionally rip you of a certain knowledge that will make you better than them. So the question is, did they really want us to be independent?
That question will be a question for another day. Because no, if I really want to answer the question, I will have to ask you that if you say, do they really want us to be independent, then you now ask yourself, why do you think they don't want us to be independent? What did you see that made you say, do they really want us to be independent? Because these people...
Nigeria is blessed. We have the oil. We have so much.
Did they tell you that we don't know?
Yes.
We did not discover at first, but when we discovered, we did not even know how to handle it. But we chased people that were there.
Well, now it's a two-way thing, though.
What is it?
It's a two-way.
If you're asking, do they want us to be independent? Okay, even I think Nigeria got independent very, very fast and easy, compared to some countries that really fought hard, like there was blood and sweat going down the drain just for them to get independent. So for Nigeria, for their case, it's more like, in fact, I think British really love us. They love us so well. We are more like their children.
For our own country again.
That's the way it is. Because do you know that in some country they have to really, you know,
we are
it was a struggle.
People. We are strong. We have to give it to us.
We have the population. We have the population. So it's one of the. I think that's one of the tools that actually helped us. And again, I think we cooperated more with them than some of these other countries. Some countries they were a bit harsh when it comes to, you know, colonialism and also how to, you know, detach from colonial masters. But with Nigeria, I think we agreed so much with their with their terms and conditions. At one point, it was most of the revenues were given, you know, to the Queen of England, and they had to give us, you know, our own share. You know, you know how they do it. I think some of this French colonized country, that's the way they do it. They'll send the revenue made from that country to to France, and then France sends whatever they want to send back, which was peanuts. I think as at one point, I beg your pardon, Nigeria was doing that, and they were sending some percentage down to us, okay, for, you know. And at that point, they thought, okay, that was the best way. I think whatever they give us, we'll use it to develop our country, we will learn. But that was the bad way. And I think because we're doing it and we're so loyal, everyone loves a loyal person. We're so loyal with that, it was going well until, you know, before you know, different fights started coming up. People were like agitating for all of that. And, you know, that's how they started with, okay, this independence talk. And at some point, British thought that, okay, we've had leaders. I think they've actually been able to bring up leaders to some point. We had, you know, the likes of Nnamdi Azikiwe and, you know, Abat Macaulay and all of that. So they just feel like, okay, I think we've had these people to some point. I think we can now leave them. They can now handle their resources because of the agitation was too much. It was coming from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south. In as much as they were the one who actually divided us in religious lines, because I mean, you know, ethnic lines, because they wanted to, you know, govern. But then I said, okay, let's leave these people. But leaving them, because it was easy.
I think they left us in chaos, a bit of chaos.
What was the chaos?
The chaos of trying to, you know, tribalism and all of that, ethnicity. The unity they would have done, the longer they would have stayed, was the impact would have been on trying to unite, you know, create a system.
Would they have been able
create a system that has everyone factored in?
But I don't think it would have been possible, because even before they came, in as much as we are all trying to put it on the British, we are putting it on the British, like, we want it to be like on the colonial master, we are hammering it. Did we not know that there were some people who were not speaking our own language? Like, you will know that if you are from the East, you know that some persons are not speaking your language. Yes. I'm sure that before then, I don't know. I wasn't born.
It became worse off.
Some persons know that.
It became worse off. The more we started to create more states, you know, we thought all of those would solve the problem.
They were creating those access because of for commercial purpose.
Yes.
Those access, those, you know, trying to link one region to the other was for commercial purpose, purely commercial purpose.
But that's what.
So you can trade with this and trade with that. They can have access to both sides.
I get that is what we generally know. There could have been ulterior motives too.
I think we're just too greedy. We're too greedy, because if someone can come tell you, let's say for instance, Priscilla, you're my sister, my blood sister, both parents, and someone come tell you, you know what, this girl is no longer your sister, and the person gives you reason, and maybe the person just finished with that reason, only verbal reason, and the person leaves. Want to do your findings, because you've grown up with me, we grew up together. Want to do your findings.
Unfortunately,
and when you do your findings and at the end of the day it's not true, are we not supposed to live together? But some people continued like that in those lines.
Some people would never do findings. People would always plant.
That is the problem with Africans. We never do research. I think there's so much to talk about today.
It gets deep. I think for me, it got deep when we started to create more states. You know, everybody. It appeared as though it was a solution, but
yes,
it became out of control.
Agitations were becoming too much.
Yes, and
you see someone in the same state, but we have like 4 different languages. Everybody wanted their own.
Came out over the weekend to come and talk about worry and these are the things. Tribalism is the major problem, and all of this came from let's create state. This one has this boundary, this one has this boundary, this one.
My place is the one that has the oil. Your place don't have oil, so let's have our own.
For me, like I still stand that what the white man would have done for us, even if they had stayed one
to unite us,
it was to create a structure that factors everyone in. Because as big as the United States is, we don't hear. I know that we hear of racism, but tribalism is our problem in Nigeria.
It is our problem. But then again, back to the question, to the drawing board. I think if the Europeans had lasted a longer time, maybe like one of the comments said, till 1990, maybe we would have had more development. Because let's compare to South Africa. South Africa has more development than any other country in Africa. And that's because of the presence of the colonial master. Yes, we would have ripped us of some things, but yes, we would have had that development and maybe would have been matured enough to be able to handle our own. Maybe, just maybe. But I think that's the way forward. For the sake of our time, we're really taking so much of our time, because if we continue with this, me, I'm a historian, I just want to talk about history. we're not going to end it here, but yes, we have other guests waiting for us to have other discussions, current affair discussions, so go nowhere. Thank you once again, Priscilla, for your contribution to this topic. I really enjoyed my time this morning, and I hope you did. And if you are just joining us, please make sure that you watch on YouTube, it's Global TV NG, and drop your thoughts concerning this particular topic. I am Ogochukumobnak, and I come your way again, I'm leaving in the hands of Priscilla and Ramsey as they usher us into the discussion section of Global Morning. Good morning once again, Nigerians and viewers around the world. Bye for now.
When social media speaks, we listen and we bring you the extra. It's your one-stop shop for trends, tweets, and the tea everyone's sipping on. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get that extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Boss Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global TV.
In an age of breaking news, you need a trusted source that prioritizes accurate, factual, and unbiased reporting. This is AM News, and I am Ubong Osoro.
On Global Television, our news is rooted in verified and authoritative storytelling that keeps you educated, informed, and enlightened on all the issues that matter to you. I am Sadia Yakubu. This is Midday News.
You can trust our multi-platform news broadcast, real-time and fast-check stories for all the big local and foreign headlines round the clock. I am Ramsey Enoch Agbo. This is News Express.
Our array of anchors delivers the news to our teeming viewers, breaking it down with context and perspective. This is News Cycle on Global Television. I am Anieti Patrick.
And the flagship news is your hub for the day's most engaging stories. This is News Prime, and I am Jumai Manson.
Did you miss any of our news rounds? No worries. Catch up at 10 p.m. and midnight, 7 days of the week. I am Mukhtar Kasim.
Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. We're active across all social media platforms at Global TV NG.
At Witchtech Cables, we don't just make cables, we deliver excellence. Our products are built with advanced technology, trusted for their unmatched quality and durability. With a wide range of cables, swift delivery, and continuous innovation, we stay ahead of the market demand. We are proudly Nigerian, fully indigenous, yet world-class. Backed by a professional team, strong technical support, and a deep commitment to customer satisfaction. Witchtech Cables is more than a brand, it's a promise. Witchtech Cables, quality cables better than the best.
Imagine having the power of television, movies, news, and entertainment right in your pocket. Welcome to Free TV App, Nigeria's all-in-one digital TV experience. With Free TV App, you get access to over 100 live TV channels, breaking news, sports, movies, kids shows, and more, all from a single mobile app. No decoder stress, no complicated setup, just download, open, and start watching. Free TV is television reimagined for the digital age. To get started, simply search Free TV on the Google Play Store or Free TV NG on the Apple App Store, or scan the QR code on your screen. Once installed, register in seconds using your phone number, email, WhatsApp, Google ID, or Apple ID. Secure OTP verification ensures safe and seamless access. Inside the app, explore content directly from the home screen or navigate easily using the various tabs. The Live TV section gives you access to over 100 licensed channels, complete with an electronic program guide, EPG, pause, rewind, and catch-up features. The Video On Demand library offers up to 500 hours of curated content, including Nollywood movies, drama series, documentaries, kids and educational programs. You can resume playback, save favorites, and download content to watch offline. The News tab delivers real-time updates across breaking news, sports, entertainment, technology, and pop culture, all in one place. Free TV is more than an app. It's a digital revolution in broadcasting. Download the Free TV app today.
Tired of the snow? Tired of the bad TV signals? Nigeria has gone digital. Introducing Free TV, the national platform for every Nigerian. Get 100 plus channels immediately. Sports, news, and entertainment in your native language. All with clear picture quality. Whether you're in the city or the village, our satellite signal reaches every corner of 36 states from day one. No monthly subscription, just a compatible decoder and you are set. It's a national asset built for you. Take the show on the road, download the Free TV app and stream your favorite channels anywhere. Starting this May, scan to download the app or call 0700 388 7277. Free TV, digital TV for free. Brought to you by NBC.
Our language, our vibrant culture and colorful tradition, our industrious and hospitable people. This is Nigeria, a nation that prides itself in abundant human and natural resources. From east to west, north to south, we sparkle, we shine, we have a common bond. Fellow Nigerians, let's do away with ethnic, religious, and regional sentiments that divide us as a people. God has blessed us and empowered us to find strength in diversity. Let's make our faith and way of worship our source of unity as we build a nation that stays united. Nigeria, together today, together always. This is a public announcement brought to you by Global Television.